Is this the shortest time between uploads ever? It very well might be. So my last video wound up being a little controversial and wound up blowing up way more than I expected it to. Like, seriously, as of right now, it has almost 200 views, and every time I check it out, it's getting more views, and the dislike ratio, well, it's dislike ratioing. Now, I'm not gonna delete it, I'm standing on business. I saw people complaining about the Battlefield 6 beta week 2 about things like skill-based matchmaking and movement, and I'm a man with really weird opinions on shooters because I don't play with squads like most people, I just play everything alone, so everything is based on the public matchmaking experience to me. And that doesn't change that I was just venting some of my frustration with the gaming community on social media as a whole. Like, I'm just trying to encourage people to use a little more critical thinking and form their opinions by themselves instead of just spouting headlines and opinions they get from strangers, because public opinion changes all the time, and I think that video being one of my biggest so far is emblematic of a completely different issue I have with just how social media trains our brains and society. Yeah, we're getting deep today. Like, I try not to live in the past and be like, oh, things were better when I was a kid, because I think that's cringe as fuck. But, like, things at some point recently have just gotten way more negative, right? Like, negativity has always been in the media, but social media just magnifies it so much and has made it a daily part of our lives. So if you're on social media for more than, like, 10 minutes every day, hell, even 5 minutes every day, you're gonna see something negative. Someone's gonna be complaining, someone's gonna be saying something that's angry, or something that's sad, and it's gonna ruin your mood. That's just how it is, right? And it's one of those things that, like, I remember my parents, they'd always see headlines on, like, magazines or on the news, and they'd talk to me about it like, oh man, this is the worst thing ever. And I would think to myself, oh, I'm never gonna be like that. And then, you know, fast forward 15 years later, I'm exactly like that with video games of all things. Something that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, even though it's very, very deeply important to me. And like, all discussion these days on social media is pretty much just that, like, hey, thing is bad. I also think thing is bad. Let's all just talk about how bad thing is, and then we just sit there and instead of doing anything about it, because we can't do anything about it, we're just gonna be miserable, and more in the times when things weren't as bad, or more in the times when we thought things weren't as bad because we were kids. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Me. Because I was a child during the 2008 financial crisis, and while I was sitting there being like, haha, I love video games and playing the SpongeBob game on my GameCube, my parents were probably sitting there losing their fucking minds because we were poor, and they're like, fuck, we have even less money now, how are we gonna keep taking care of ourselves? Like, seriously, dude, looking back at it, 2007, 2008? Honestly, great year for video games. Halo 3 came out. There's probably other games, but Halo 3 was like my favorite game ever, so that came out. Like, dude, I cannot use TikTok. Everyone else around me uses TikTok all the time. My friend's girlfriend uses TikTok, my besties use TikTok, and my parents use TikTok, and they'll send me TikToks all the time. That's the only time I use it, because every time I start scrolling, it shows me shit that makes me depressed or makes me angry, or just shows me an ad for something that I don't fucking need. Like, would you like a katana that's from an anime you like? Or would you like a mini sword from an anime you like? Okay, well, that's a lot of swords. But sometimes it'll also show me, like, happy couples, and, I'm just so lonely, man. And you know what I do because of that? I don't use TikTok. I don't scroll. I don't even open it and scroll it for a long time. Okay, I scroll a little bit. But you bet your ass that whenever I open it and I scroll for more than 5 minutes and something angering shows up, I just get off and I focus on something that makes me happy. I do something better with my time. Because honestly, I cannot stand being miserable or angry. There's already so much shit to be miserable and angry about in my own life. I just need to focus on me and do things that minimize the amount of time I spend miserable and angry. I don't know how some people can just sit there and be miserable and angry all day, every day, for multiple days on end. Like, whenever you see one of those channels that just posts rage bait slop every day about how something is ruined or about how something is actually bad, don't you ever just look at them and you're concerned for their health? Like, dude, do something better with your time, dude. And I guess that's the real crux of this video. Being a doomer is cringe. Being angry and doing nothing but stewing in your anger all day and doing nothing productive with it, that is lame. You shouldn't do that shit ever. And a lot of people in the gaming community do that all the time. They say a game makes them angry, they say a game makes them miserable, and then they just play it all day. And I would know it because I did that. Dude, my teenage years were just all Overwatch, and I wasn't that good at Overwatch. I was in ELO hell, which I don't even know is real. Some people say it's real, some people don't. I don't care anymore. I've stopped playing that game for years now, except for that one time where I came back for a season when Overwatch 2 came out and people were like, hey, this is good. And then I played it for a little bit, and then I was like, wow, this is actually just the same thing. And now basically people are saying the exact same thing. All the goodwill from Overwatch 1 is just completely gone. All the goodwill from the launch of Overwatch 2 is completely gone. And now it's back to being a shitty game. So like, there's opinions changing live for you. But some people still play it all day, every day. There's a lot of content creators who will still post shit like, Overwatch is dying, ? And it's the same shit with Apex Legends. During pandemic, I did nothing but play Apex Legends with like one of my closest IRL friends. We grinded that shit all the time. We actually climbed pretty high. We actually got to Diamond like early on, and it really wasn't really worth much, but it felt like a big accomplishment to us because I was watching a VTuber grind to it by herself. Shout out Minato Aqua, rest in peace, or, you know, those who know. Anyways, I remember back when I was playing, because I quit around, fuck dude, is before that Sniper Girl came out, so it had to be like maybe season 10 or something like that. Anyways, so I remember people posting videos like, oh, Apex is dying every day, and now they're on season like 20 something, and it's still going, even with the player drop, because I don't like that people say that a game is dead when it's just going through a player dip. People are still playing it every day. They're still giving it money. It's not dead. You just don't like playing it anymore. Stop playing it. As a matter of fact, if the game makes you that mad, the mere existence of the game makes you so mad, stop talking about it. Don't get yourself involved with it. I hang out with a friend group that still plays it, and all they do is complain about it all day, every day. I don't even hang out with them that much. Can you guess why I don't like being in big groups that much? And that's exactly what being a negative person does to you. It pushes people away. It pushes good connections that you might like. It pushes them away from you because no one likes being around someone who's negative and angry 24/7. So I guess the real crux of this video is just to say, stop being negative all the time. I know it gets pushed by social media, and that's why you have to go out of your way to curate a space that you like. A space where you can be positive. A space where you're not angry all the time. Who likes being angry all the time? And if it gets really that bad, as a great man, Tyler the Creator, once said, just turn your phone off, close the screen, go outside. Social media isn't real. The people on it, they aren't real. The individuals might be real, but as a whole, social media is not a real person. Like, if the world was exactly like how social media says it was, we'd be living in a completely different world, in many different cases. Any energy that you spend being angry about something that you know doesn't matter in the long run could be used improving yourself, or could be used doing something that makes you happy, something that makes you a better person to be around. And shouldn't we all be focusing on that? Like, the one thing I can't disagree with social media on is that the world does suck. Everything is burning, everything's collapsing, who knows what's gonna happen in 20 years, but just because that's happening doesn't mean you need to be a bad person to be around. We should strive to improve the world just a little bit. We should strive to improve ourselves a little bit. I mean, isn't that all video games are about in the end? You're getting better at a skill, you get stronger with every passing action you do. So we should strive to be like one of our heroes in the game. Someone that's better, someone that makes people happy to be around them. We can be Superman too. Superman's pretty cool. I'm probably using him in this thumbnail. So I hope that this speaks to someone out there, someone who realizes that they're being negative, or someone who didn't even realize that they were, but after hearing me talk, realizes that they're that person that I'm making fun of. I'm not making fun of you, bro. Just telling you what it is. Or cis, or non-binary, or they, or whatever neopronoun you like. We're all about respect on that Goombi Mint channel. Anyways, like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. I'll try my best to respond to you. Subscribe, that'd be cool. Or if not, glad to have seen you. Alright, I'm done talking now.